Best of r/Choosing Beggars episode 33. Sibling has made a living out of taking advantage of people. I stopped helping them many years ago because my generosity became an expectation. I kept thinking if I helped them one more time, they'd finally get on their feet. Spoiler, they didn't want to be on their feet. Sibling and their spouse have a hard time keeping jobs. They'll wake up one day, decide they don't feel like going to work, and quit. They insist on living above their means because their credit is shit. They can't buy a house. They have multiple evictions, but found a house that wouldn't do a background check. They provided a landlord with fake referrals. Their rent is more than my mortgage. Sibling was hired to be a handyman/housekeeper for a wealthy couple. The wife is ill and can't keep up with the upkeep. They trusted sibling and gave them free reign over the house. Sibling would take things from their house under the pretense of, they won't miss this. If they do, they can afford to replace it. I sincerely doubt the couple knew this was happening. Sibling loves going through people's things. They're so nosy. Sometimes, if sibling found something they really wanted, but it was too big to sneak out of the house, they'd ask the couple, "Are you using this? Can I have it?" This was a daily event, stealing and taking. They didn't really want whatever it was. They'd usually sell the items. Sibling is absolute shit with money. If they have $20 to their name, they'd buy cigarettes and then ask the charities for food and money for fuel. The landlord asked them why their rent checks were coming from this particular organization. Sibling told the landlord to mind their own fucking business. So sibling started going to the couple to ask them to advance them money for rent. The couple paid them in advance. Sibling would work off the advance, but then would ask for more money. The couple would pay and sibling would work it off. This became the norm. Sibling asked the couple if the couple could help them buy their children's Christmas. They said number. Sibling ripped into them, appalled that they would say no. "After everything I've done for you. You mean, everything they paid you to do?" Sometimes I think people who initially meet sibling wonder WTF is wrong with me that I don't help them. I know sibling shit talks me about how awful I am to them. And now this cute little couple knows why I stopped helping. And sibling incinerated yet another bridge. Thank you. Next. My father-in-law is a tiler and does jobs all up and down the coast of Australia, and will offer his friends a day or two of work if he needs an extra pair of hands. After my partner and I got back from out holiday, we met up with him for dinner to tell him about our trip and show him some of the pictures. Not 5 minutes into the drive to the restaurant, he drove us there. He mentions he has work 2 hours north of where I live and wants me to help him out for the day as I was taking a sabbatical before getting back to the real world, and would need the money. I asked him how much he'd pay me for the job and he confidently yet arrogantly tells me he would be willing to give me $50 for the day as he'd be doing me a favor, but that he also couldn't find any labor to help out as it was a last minute job. I also know for a fact he's thousands of dollars in credit card debt. My partner and I just looked at each other rolling our eyes, and I said there's no chance in hell as I'd probably spend $50 in fuel just to get to and from the damn job. So I said I'd take the $50 for travel allowance and that my day rate was $250. Note, it's not really, I just made it something I knew he would say no to so I could refuse his job offer, and the man nearly crashes the car in a raging frenzy over how much I asked for. Little man with a little temper, saying I was being a selfish cunt and that I could use him as a reference and I'd learn some valuable skills of a trade and earn a good day's pay. Regarding I have 7 years construction experience and have a good savings account with other investments. And I politely turned down the job as I was no longer interested, saying it wasn't worth my time but would be more than willing if he wanted to be reasonable. He promptly told me to fuck off. We got to the restaurant and I ordered the most expensive item on the menu, because he was paying. Thank you. Next. My co-worker, Sarah name changed, had a walkout last night. All walkouts suck, but this one was very different. The table that walked out included 3 20-something-year-olds, 2 guys and a girl. The girl happened to go to high school with my co-worker who was serving them. The two spent a good portion of the night catching up, having a good time, and everything was going smoothly. After ordering $80 worth of food and drinks, the table walked out on their bill. Sarah was pissed. Since we scanned and save IDs at my bar, We permanently flag anyone who has walked out on their tab and ban them from re-entry, unless of course they come back to pay their tab and apologize for their lapse in judgment. The ad saving system is also linked with other bars in the city that use the same brand. So if someone were to be banned from our bar, all other participating bars would be notified and able to ban them as well. Sarah figured she'd message this girl on Facebook and let her know she should come back and pay her bill to save her from that major inconvenience, instead of telling her that she was a huge piece of shit. But my co-worker kept it cordial. The girl never responded to my friend. Thank you. Next. My co-worker, Sarah name changed, had a walkout last night. All walkouts suck, but this one was very different. The table that walked out included 3 20-something-year-olds, 2 guys and a girl. The girl happened to go to high school with my co-worker who was serving them. The two spent a good portion of the night catching up, having a good time, and everything was going smoothly. After ordering $80 worth of food and drinks, the table walked out on their bill. Sarah was pissed. Since we scan and save IDs at my bar, we permanently flag anyone who has walked out on their tab and ban them from re-entry, unless of course they come back to pay their tab and apologize for their lapse in judgment. The ad saving system is also linked with other bars in the city that use the same brand. So if someone were to be banned from our bar, all other participating bars would be notified and able to ban them as well. Sarah figured she'd message this girl on Facebook and let her know she should come back and pay her bill to save her from that major inconvenience, instead of telling her that she was a huge piece of shit. But my co-worker kept it cordial. The girl never responded to my friend. Thank you. Next. Shitty mom tries to scam me for cheap pizza. TLDR at bottom. Also posted to r/trashy text. While working at a pizza place in Los Angeles, I had a customer come in with her young daughter, probably around 8-11 years old. They had balloons and other birthday paraphernalia. First thing the mother says is that it's her daughter's birthday today. I said happy birthday to the daughter, who replied with thank you, but it was actually Friday. The mom had a kind of nervous look on her face but quickly took it off. I didn't see this as a red flag, but it was definitely strange. They look over the menu for a minute or two and placed their order. It was roughly $100 worth of food. The mom then asks me if we can deliver to a nearby park where they would be having the birthday party. This was also strange, as people usually placed delivery orders over the phone, but this had happened a couple times before, so I didn't think much of it. Once it comes time for payment, the mom asks if we have any sales or specials. This pizza place is popular and relatively high-end, so we rarely offer any kind of discounts for non-regulars. I told her no, we don't have any kind of discounts. She gave me a reluctant okay and asked for the price. I told her the price and she tried to haggle with me. I told her that I couldn't lower the price. She kept insisting I give her a better deal on the food. Eventually I gave up and said that I would give her 10% off, our friends and family discount. She then asked for 25% off. I told her no and that she could take the 10% or leave. She left. The whole thing was weird, but we have to deal with scammers once in a while. I've never had someone try to haggle me before. But this isn't the weird part. About 10 minutes after this all went down, the young daughter comes inside, alone and holding a smartphone out. The daughter comes up to me and asks me if they can get more than 10% off their order. I noticed that the mom was on speakerphone with her. That's why she had the phone out in her hand. The mom was listening to the conversation. She sent her daughter in hoping that I would feel bad for the kid and give them a discount. I definitely felt bad for the daughter. She must have been so embarrassed and it made me furious. I leaned in closer to the phone so that bitch of a mom could hear me and said, I can't give you the discount and it's kind of awful that your mom is doing this. Unlike your mom, you seem like a really nice sweet girl. How would you like a free slice of pizza? I showed her all the slices we had available hoping she would feel better. And then she says that she doesn't really like pizza. This only further confirmed that the mom is a trashy piece of shit who used her daughter to scam us for cheap pizza. My blood boiled. How can anyone be that trashy? And for God's sakes, don't get your kid involved in your little scheme. Anyways, I then offered the daughter a free soda. She didn't accept. I offered her a bottle of water. She didn't accept. Eventually I just told her that she was really nice and should never do what her mom is doing. I wish I had the chance to speak with the mom alone so I could tell her she is a piece of shit and should go fuck herself. I just hope that the daughter doesn't grow up to be like her mom. Side note, thank God for the honesty of little kids. If I believed that little girl actually had a birthday that day, I maybe would have given them a big discount. And fuck that mom for putting in so much work and making her daughter lie. TLDR, mom uses her daughter to scam me for free/cheap food. Sends daughter back in alone after I refuse to give discounts to try and make me feel bad. I only felt bad for the daughter and offered her a free slice of pizza. The daughter doesn't like pizza. Thank you. Next. My co-worker, Sarah name changed, had a walkout last night. All walkouts suck, but this one was very different. The table that walked out included 3 20-something-year-olds, 2 guys and a girl. The girl happened to go to high school with my co-worker who was serving them. The two spent a good portion of the night catching up, having a good time, and everything was going smoothly. After ordering $80 worth of food and drinks, the table walked out on their bill. Sarah was pissed. Since we scan and save IDs at my bar, we permanently flag anyone who has walked out on their tab and ban them from re-entry, unless of course they come back to pay their tab and apologize for their lapse in judgment. The ID saving system is also linked with other bars in the city that use the same brand. So if someone were to be banned from our bar, all other participating bars would be notified and able to ban them as well. Sarah figured she'd message this girl on Facebook and let her know she should come back and pay her bill to save her from that major inconvenience, instead of telling her that she was a huge piece of shit. But my co-worker kept it cordial. The girl never responded to my friend. Thank you. Next. I posted this in another subreddit and was told it might be well suited here for your viewing pleasure. Sorry for the long post, but I need some reassurance here. As a quick background, I, 23F, am not a makeup artist. I enjoy doing makeup and I am good at it, and sometimes I will do my friend's makeup if we are going to a party or other event. However, I don't actually have the materials, range of skin/eyebrow/etc. shades to accommodate anyone who is not similar in tone to myself. I also should make very clear here that I see makeup as a hobby. I led a pretty busy life, as I am in a full-time college course, non-makeup related, and I have a job, non-makeup related. My roommate's sister is getting married in April. I have met her twice. I was in the kitchen eating my cereal and my roommate came in and began describing a conversation that she had with her sister. To summarize, her sister had been saying how she did not want to pay for a makeup artist for her and her bridal party for her wedding when OP could just do it. Her bridal party consists of herself, her 4 bridesmaids and her mother. The wedding is a 2-hour drive from my apartment. This alone sets me up with a 10-hour unpaid day. To add to this, the wedding is on a Monday, when I would usually work an 8-hour shift, paid. I also do not have makeup that matches the bride's, or any of the bridesmaids, skin or eyebrow tone, so I would potentially need to purchase this. I asked my roommate how much I would be paid to do this, expecting a smaller sum than a qualified makeup artist, but surely enough to cover travel, any new products and a gift note. I would not be expecting an hourly rate or anything, and she replied saying that I would not be paid at all. To add, I was also not to be invited to the wedding. I am kind of the view that if you feel like we are close enough for you to ask this favor from me, I should at least be invited as an evening guest. As I am not a professional, the concept of doing someone's entire wedding party's makeup sort of freaked me out. What if I mess it up or it doesn't last all day? I'll just be blamed for a bad job when it's a very stressful request. I really think that this needs to be shamed, particularly as my roommate did not seem to see anything wrong with it. If you want good makeup, pay for it. Don't ask favors from people you barely know. A little bit of human respect goes a long way. If you can't afford to pay people for their time, don't have such an expensive wedding. Am I overreacting to this?